Sawadogo, Traore, Malo, Simpore, another Traore, Kanate, Nikiema, Tapsoba, Sonogo, Kedralgo, Bande, and then another Kedralgo. Plenty of similar names in this Burkina Faso team. And over to Tunisia, who've had a real up and down tournament. They only won once in the group stages and snuck through, but their most recent game in this tournament was the one that they will take the most heart from. Pre-tournament favourites Nigeria, who up until that point had an impeccable record, were brushed aside by Tunisia in what was a nervy game. Eventually it was the captain's goal. Youssef Msakni caught Maduka Okoye from distance, and that was the goal that settled it for Tunisia against the 10-man Nigerian side. Their side has some changes this evening. Bekir Ben Said starts in goal. There's a back four of Mohamed Draguer, Bilalifa, Dylan Bron comes in place of Montassar Talbi. On the right-hand side of that defence is Usama Haddadi. Holding in midfield, Aissa Laidouni with two further central midfielders of Elias Sekahiri and Anis Ben Slimane. Up front, Saifuddin Jaziri leads the line, and either side of him will be Wabi Kazri and the captain, goal scorer in the last round, as we've already spoken, Youssef Msakni. The managers are ready in their technical area. Kamou Malo for Burkina Faso. And we have yet to see Mondher Kebaier. He was kept out of that last game. That was left to Jalel Kadri to manage the team. We'll see if he makes an appearance on the bench. It was a positive COVID test that kept Kebaier out of interacting with his team. And well, they're exchanging their pennants just in front of the referees. Today, that'll be Joshua Bondo of Botswana. He's being assisted by Asinio Maringula of Mozambique and Gilbert Cheriot of Kenya. The fourth official is Peter Wareru Kamaku of Kenya. And there is VAR in action tonight. The VAR tonight is Redouane Djed of Morocco, assisted by Adil Zurak of Morocco, and Fatiha Jarmoumi rounds off the trio of Moroccan video assistant officials. Well, the two sides are set up well. They're a final pre-match huddle for Burkina Faso. There is a real date with history up for grabs for them. Tunisia too will hope that the little bit of fortune and experience that they created in their last game against Nigeria will see them well through this game. It's great to see Mondher Kebaier back on the bench after his little flirtation with the virus that has caused so many problems to us over the past 2 years. And well, good to see the manager back in the place where he should be, sat in the dugouts, ready to try and help his team get through to the semi-finals of this intriguing, fascinating, twisting and turning tournament. Last few preparations today. Burkina Faso will be all in white with some red and green accents to reflect their flag. On the other side of the field, Tunisia clad all in red, head to toe. Apart from the goalkeeper, he's in green, and they're off. It's been kicked off in the midfield. It's played out to the right-hand side. Here's a first touch for the right-back, Usama Haddadi. He's run into traffic, though, has to go all the way back to Dylan Bron. A first touch of him. First start of the tournament. Across to the back line it goes to Bilalifa. He's going to drive this forward towards the halfway line and play it back to his centre-half colleague Bron. Out to the right-hand side. Here's that Draguer popping up on the right rather than the left. Played all the way back to the goalkeeper. Ben Said with the first touch. Out it goes to Ifa. Ifa will launch this long to the left-hand side, looking for the run of Msakni popping up on the left. Inverted wingers this evening. Been picked off in midfield by Burkina Faso. That's a heavy challenge coming in from Cyril Bayala. And they've recovered the ball all the way back to the goalkeeper and captain, Herve Coffey. To the left it goes. Here is Edmund Tapsoba wandering out with the ball. Plays it into midfield. So it's been collected by Toure. He's moving to the left-hand side. Ball down the line looking for Yago, but it's been plucked out by Tunisia. Driving down the right-hand side goes Mohamed Draguer. He's run into a bit of traffic and won his side a throw-in, it looks like, but maybe the referee's given this the other way. He has indeed. Yago has a throw-in to take back to Tapsoma, just to the left of the box. He's now inching his way forward, turns and looks to go back, and luckily for him, Sumaila Ouattara had stepped out. It's played out to the right-hand side. Here's Kebaier. Kebaier driving forward. Finds a ball into midfield from some space, and Tunisia almost got it away there. They have plucked it out of mid-air there, but the referee, Joshua Bondo, blows the whistle, points to the ground. There'll be a free kick here for Burkina Faso. Looks like it was for a challenge on Cyril Bayala. Aissa Laidouni, the man giving it away. And he's got to be careful. Another booking and he'll miss out on any potential semi-final place. It's played out from the goalkeeper into the feet of Tapsoba. He's gone to the right-hand side and found Guira. Guira clips one long down the right-hand channel. Taken down on the chest by Cyril. Chops and turns back down the line. Feeds that down to Kebaier. He's tried to cross it in early, but it's blocked by Tunisia. Played out to the left-hand side for Khazri, who's very deep, helping out in defence. Tries to go past Steve Yago. He went down to the ground quickly, held his face, and the referee has blown the whistle now. Wabi Khazri's got his finger up to the referee, telling him he's done nothing wrong there. Yago, he's okay. Went down very briefly. There was a hand. Well, I can see why the referee's given that. There was a hand up towards the neck of the player. He's grabbed at his face and did bounce back to his feet quickly. There was no touch to the face of Steve Yago, but he will have this chance to put this ball in. It'll be Gustavo Sangare with the delivery, left-footed, close to the touchline. In it comes, looking down towards the 6-yard line and cleared away easily in the end by Mohamed Draguer, but looks like he's conceded a corner kick for Burkina Faso to try and put a bit more pressure on this back line of Tunisia early on. We're only into the 4th minute of the game. Bekir Ben Said is barking out the instructions. Sangare will whip this away from him with his left foot from the corner. He's going to play this short instead. It is in towards the 6-yard line. They've got control of the ball and it's lifted high and beyond anybody in the box by Dango Ouattara. And out to play on the far side, down the left-hand side for Tunisia, where they will throw this back into play through Usama Haddadi. It was a good move in the end from the corner kick. It was played to Cyril Bayala. He got that into the 6-yard line, and it was Dango. Tunisia will carry this away here. It's in midfield with Anis Ben Slimani out to the right-hand side for Wabi Khazri. Khazri in an attacking area, cross into the box. It's away. Not exactly how Soumaïla Ouattara wanted to do it, but it's safe, out of play for a Tunisia throw down their right-hand side. Wabi Khazri is lurking. Will be tossed back into play by Draguer. And it comes, it's back to Draguer now. Round the corner it goes for Ben Slimani. He keeps possession of the ball despite the attentions of Yago. Ben Slimani in towards the box. Sekihiri tries to battle for it. It's been smuggled clear by Burkina Faso all the way into the Tunisia half, and that'll bounce all the way through to Bekir Ben Said out to the right-hand side of his box. Forward ball into the feet of Dylan Bron. Out Laidouni. Plays it to the left where Bilalifa will carry this diagonally towards the left-hand side for Tunisia. He stops as he reaches the left-hand side of the centre circle. Back to Laidouni. He's gone to the right-hand side for Draguer. Ball down the line. Khazri will collect this on the outside of the box. Clipped toward the 6-yard line. There's a boot from Burkina Faso. Goalkeeper's got there. The sliding challenge on him was a heavy one. Head of Coffee got a hand to the ball in the end. Looks like it'll be a foul on the goalkeeper. He doesn't look particularly comfortable. Youssef Msakni, the Tunisia captain, went flying in to try and pick up the loose ball. It was initially a one-handed save or intervention from Herve Coffee. The ball down the line, it was Wabi Khazri, clipped it towards the penalty spot. Ouattara couldn't get it away. Deflected off of Youssef Msakni, running in from the far post. He followed the ball in. Did pull out of the challenge, but his feet just did get stuck on the 6-yard line, and the knee did go into the midriff of the goalkeeper. Wabi Khazri looked like he was appealing for a foul, a penalty. And the goalkeeper looks like he's recovered, but Burkina Faso do have some concerns at the moment. In the centre of their box, it's also good to see Youssef Msakni back on his feet and wandering his way back to the halfway line. But Herve Coffee, he does seem to be struggling. It's his right thigh that's receiving the majority of the treatment from the Burkina Faso medical team. We'll have a look at this delivery into the box again. Khazri's ball came in. Stumbling to the ground, Msakni, after a challenge from a Burkina Faso player. To be Kebaier potentially coming in from left back to help cover. Doesn't appear like VAR is having a look at this. It would be a harsh decision on Burkina Faso if this was given as a penalty. I think it's still ongoing for Herve Coffey, and they are warming up a substitute goalkeeper at the moment. Farid Drago, 25-year-old of USFA, he's going through his paces on the sidelines. Some real concern now for the goalkeeper, Herve Coffey. It's a 42nd cap for the Burkina Faso captain. And the referee has a little bit of working out to do. Edmund Tapsoba's stood over the ball. And Herve Coffey still limping around in his 6-yard box. They are still warming up the goalkeeper. Farid is just getting a few balls into hands. Coffey, Tim's armband around his left arm. Shorts pulled down low to his knees. Short goal kick taken to Tapsoba. Long ball forward, nodded back into the Burkina Faso half by Tunisia. Rabi Kazri gets a touch, but it's been lost in midfield. That's played back to Ouattara. Across the back line to Tapsoba. Midway through his own half, lifted out to the left-hand side. That's not kept in, though, by Steve Yago. And that will be a Tunisian throw-in in front of their own dugouts. Will be taken by Mohamed Draguer. As the ball over his head. Jibril Ouattara is lurking, trying to cut off any balls back to the goalkeeper. It goes to Wabi Kazri instead, down the line, on the halfway line, back to Draguer. Inside it goes to Sekahiri. Challenge in the midfield there from Guira. And Burkina Faso come away with the ball. It's laid off from Toure, all the way back now to Tapsoba. Across he goes to Ouattara. Ouattara inching his way forward. Ball into midfield for Sangare, who's come to collect. He's between the two centre-halves. Forward ball to Toure. That's returned to Tapsoba and looked to go to the goalkeeper, thought better of it. And he's got the ball in the direction of the goalkeeper and finally does play it back there. Left-footed pass into the feet of Coffey, who still is limping. Didn't look particularly comfortable playing that pass to his right-hand side to Soumaila Ouattara. He's inching his way forward now down the right-hand side. Quite wide, long ball forward. It's going to be one in the air by Aoife, but trotting across will be Jibril. He's battling for the ball alongside Usama Haddadi, who gets the referee's decision and will have the throw-in. It's back towards Dylan Bron. Now out to the full-back Draguer. He's got space to run into. Will carry it forward towards the halfway line. Passes it forward, looking for Ben Slimani. Kind deflection off a Burkina Faso player. Falls for Kazri, but he can't get the ball right. Coffey's under pressure now. Out to the edge of his box, and there's nothing more that Ouattara could do there. Just had to put his right boot through it. There were 3 Tunisia players lurking. They're smelling the fact that the goalkeeper doesn't look comfortable when he's got the ball at his feet. They are throwing bodies towards him, try and put him under pressure. And this throw-in will be taken by Draguer. Inside it goes to Msakni on the edge of the area. Msakni to his left foot, tries to play it inside, but it's cut out easily by Burkina Faso. Kebaier tries to play that into the feet, and it's been given as a foul on Gustavo Sangare. About 10 yards outside of the Burkina Faso box. Pressure let off. Good bit of defending by Sangare. Got his body in the front of the ball. Haddadi could only foul him. Steve Yago goes back to Tapsoba. Ball forward into midfield between the lines. That's a lovely ball. Down the left-hand side it goes. Driving forward is Cyril Bayala. Bayala onto his right foot, looking for a crossing opportunity. Laid back to Yago. The ball does come in. It's all the way to the far side, and luckily for Burkina Faso, Kebaier is there. He's drifted past 1, 2, now 3 Tunisia players, lifted in towards the penalty spot. Will it drop? Here is Yago on the edge of the box. Lays this to the right-hand side for Toure. Now further wide it goes to Guira. He's going to steer this back, though. Stepping out of their area are the 2 centre-halves, and in midfield, Toure will try and distribute. Turns on it now. Toure still driving down the right-hand side. So looking for a crossing opportunity. The ball comes into the box. It's flashed across the 6-yard box, but all the way out No touch on it from either side. No defensive intervention, no attacking intervention. Nisa Kabore, well, that's a lovely bit of skill. He had drifted past the challenges and took a stamp on his ankle. Accidental from Usama Haddadi in the end. Just lurking at the back post, there were options for Burkina Faso. Dango Ouattara couldn't get there, which means Draguer will be able to throw this back into play for Tunisia. 12 minutes on the clock. In it comes to Sekihiri, laid back to Draguer, first time clearance up towards the halfway line, one in the air by Msakni, but this will drop to Yago. Ball lifted forward, going down under the challenge goes Dango Ouattara, looked to be a high foot from Wabi Kazri. It's been taken quickly by Burkina Faso, but the referee wants to bring it back and have a word with the former Sunderland man now at Saint Etienne. Was a high foot, did just hit the right knee, I think, of Dango Ouattara. Sangare, ball to the left-hand side, cut out by Draguer. Doesn't get control of it and shows his frustration as that's out of play for a throw into Burkina Faso. Yago throws it into play to Toure. Ball forward to Sangare, laid back to Guira. Lovely turn by the striker. It was Dango Ouattara again looking threatening. Released the strike from the edge of the area. Got a deflection on the way through. Looped up kindly. Took all the sting out of the effort. And the ball cannoned off Sekihiri's his foot into the hands of the goalkeeper Ben Said. He's distributed, but Burkina Faso have turned the ball over once again. And that's another foul. Laidouni again, the man. Dango Ouattara, once again the Burkina Faso player, causing the Tunisian defence all sorts of problems. He was just a little bit too aggressive with his hands there. One hand on the shoulder. He's protesting his innocence to the referee, but decision has been made. This is a free kick in a threatening area. Sangare standing over it. Tapsoba's there to offer his services. Bekir Ben Said is desperately screaming at the men he wants to make up his wall. Has to get this right. This is in a great position to try and get a strike away at goal. What will Burkina Faso do here? Well, there's going to be some treatment required. Herve Coffey is back on his rear end on the ground. They're going to do everything they can to try and make sure he can continue to take part in this game, the Burkina Faso captain and goalkeeper. It's going to delay the free kick for a while. They did have a substitute warming up, but don't want to move to bring that player on yet. We'll avoid that for as long as possible. But Coffey doesn't look very comfortable. That right thigh is going to be heavily strapped. And even if he does continue to walk through to the end of the first half, it's one of those where he could not reappear after half time. He immediately went to ground after doing that knee. I think it's going to be a hefty bruise on that right thigh. Did look quite innocuous in the end, just a coming together between him and Msakni, the Tunisia captain. And they're still trying to make him feel a little more comfortable as Farid goes through his paces on the sidelines with the Burkina Faso goalkeeping coaching setup. Time to have a look back. Of course, Cameroon are through to the semi-finals. The hosts overcoming the Gambia 2-0 in this afternoon's quarter-final. We anticipate who's going to continue, who's going to follow them into the next round of the tournament. Coffey is back on his feet. He's towards the halfway line now, limping around though, and to bring you back up to speed, Burkina Faso have a free kick in a threatening area. Let's see who's going to take this. It looks like it will be Edmond Tapsoba. He does look very interested, but Tapsoba runs up to the ball and strikes it straight into the bottom of the wall. It's deflected out to a Burkina Faso shirt on the edge of the area, but the shot coming in from Cyril Bayala dribbled harmlessly into the hands of Bekir Ben Said. And he's encouraged his defence after claiming that ball low down to his right-hand side. Here's Dylan Bron. To the left-hand side it goes. Osama Haddadi and Bilal Ifa now. Plays the ball down the line for Haddadi. Inside it goes to Msakni, trying to find a bit of space. Pokes it forward towards Khazri. He's picked up the ball from the Burkina Faso player. Trying to force it out to the right-hand side. Burkina Faso with a foot in. It's found its way to Draguer. The referee has pulled it back, though, from the foul from Khazri on Blati Toure in the midfield. And Joshua Bondo, the referee from Botswana, is getting more and more demonstrative with Wabi Khazri. That's his third foul in quick succession. There's just 17 minutes on the clock. Tapsoba goes back to Coffey, to the edge of his box, to the left-hand side, back to Tapsoba. Left-footed ball, long downfield, looking for the striker, Cyril. Jumped in the air with Dylan Bron, didn't win the ball, but they've picked up the second one now. Here's Blati Toure. Plays this back to Tapsoba, 12 yards from his halfway line. Diagonal ball across field, looking for the run. Here's Kebaier. Kebaier with options down the line. Plays it to Cyril Bayala. Bayala trying to find a bit of space, shrugging off the defenders. He's attracted 4 of them now. So clipped in towards the box. Bayala was the intended target, but Tunisia get this away. Ben Slimane plays that forward to Jaziri. Jaziri tumbles to the ground and flicked a leg out. I think he actually kicked the referee, and fortunately for him, the referee goes his way. Sekahiri takes the free kick forward to Laidouni. Now to the left-hand side for Osama Haddadi. Haddadi on the halfway line. Ball down the line to Msakni. He's trying to find a bit of space. Drifting inside now. 12 yards from the halfway line. It goes back over the halfway line to Bilal Ifa. Now out to Dylan Bron, the number 6, carrying this forward into Burkina Faso territory. Forward ball intended for Ben Slimane, just behind him, and Burkina Faso will try and break, and that's a lovely ball out to the left-hand side for Cyril. He's got support inside him in Steve Yago, taking up as a position as an auxiliary striker. Cut across the box from Django Ouattara, blocked away by Tunisia. And Draguer will get this clear long into the Burkina Faso half. Going to dribble all the way through to Coffey. Coffey now to the right he goes to Soumaila Ouattara. Forward ball into midfield for Blati Toure. Long ball to the right-hand side. That's a diagonal run from right to left. And the goalkeeper, Bekir Ben Said, comes out to the edge of the area and heads clear. And Tunisia on the attack here. Wabi Khazri bursting down the right-hand side. He's got Jaziri for company. Cut out easily in midfield, though, by Guira. The distribution from Wabi Khazri wasn't good enough. Ball down the line finds Blati Toure. Once again, he'll launch this long, looking for Cyril. Over the top is it's won by Bilal Ifa. Into midfield it goes. Laidouni steers this back to Osama Haddadi. He's put under pressure, has to release it first time. Picked up in midfield by Toure. Ball down the right-hand side. Here's Sangare towards the box, and it's towards the back post, and nobody was there. Draguer will collect and carry forward for Tunisia. Draguer bursting forward towards the halfway line. Plays it forward to Khazri via a deflection from Burkina Faso. It's picked off by Burkina Faso, but it's been recovered by Tunisia on the halfway line. Here is Osama Haddadi on the left-hand side. Inside he goes to Laidouni. Laidouni with the ball forward to Msakni. Msakni will run and turn. He's up to the left-hand side. Here's Haddadi in a crossing position. So all the way to the edge of the box. Yago got it clear. It struck a Tunisia player. It's broken to Msakni on the edge. Now Haddadi will collect after the block from Sangare. Haddadi back. Inside to Msakni. Now steered all the way back to the centre half. Tunisia will go again. In the midfield now with Draguer on the right side. Very central is Sekahiri. Now to the left it goes to Ben Slimane. Down the line for Haddadi. In a crossing position. Left foot ball comes in. It's a header from Issa Kabore to block that getting into the air, and it's flicked over the goal and out for Tunisia's first corner of the evening. This is a good test of Herve Coffey's fitness after that injury scare that's gone on for the past 20 minutes or so. And one goalkeeper is about to be put under pressure. Bekir Ben Said did ever so well to win that header on the edge of his box. It was a dangerous looking ball in the direction of Jibril, and looked like he had the beating of the centre half too. So played short by Khazri. Left footed cross comes in towards the back post, and Herve Coffey watched that all the way into his gloves, didn't even need to jump. Been forced out of the area by Msakni. No appeals though from Tunisia for the handball. Bowled out to the left hand side. Overarm throw by the goalkeeper. Forward ball down the line from Yago. Here's that Dango Ouattara trying to fight for the ball with Draguer. Draguer with a foot in. It's the ball out of play for a throw into Burkina Faso, tight to the corner flag. All eyes on Herve Coffey. And referee didn't see anything wrong. Yago throws the ball into play. It comes straight back to the fullback. He's going to try and force his way past Ben Slimani. Steered back down the line into the feet of Blati Touré. Comes off Khazri last. Another throw for Burkina Faso. So taken quickly. Here is Sangare. Into midfield it goes for Guira. Laid back to Ouattara. Diagonal ball across field. There's Yago. Yago tries to steer it round Khazri. Khazri's in his way. Out of play for a Burkina Faso corner kick. Nice enterprising play from the Burkina Faso left back. Number 25 on his back, Steve Yago. He's won his side a corner here. They have started the brighter of the two sides, stringing the passes together. Some early balls over the top are causing Tunisia a bit of problems. It'll be Sangare with the corner kick with his left foot. So taken short to the feet of Cyril Bayala. Clips that into the box, off the chest of Dango. And straight into the feet of Msatni on the edge of his own area. Launched clear. Maybe Khazri went down off the ball. It's all the way into the Burkina Faso half. Kabore's tracked this to the far side, on the right-hand side. He's 20 yards from his halfway line. Inside to Soumaila Ouattara. Forward ball into midfield for Guira. Steered back to Tapsoba. Lifted over to the left-hand side. Here is Cyril Bayala in some space. Bayala running at Draguer. Onto his left foot. Bayala towards the goal. Bayala at the near post. Saved by Ben Said. First time either goalkeeper's really been called into action in any real anger. Cyril Bayala, well, Mohamed Draguer might as well not have even been there. He went for the near post, saw a bit of space between Ben Said's legs and tried to slot it through them. Cyril Bayala smacks the stanchion behind the goal in frustration. Could have pulled it across, could have gone for the far post, tried to be clever at the near. Sangare with the corner. He hasn't beaten the first man. That was Draguer, but it's come back to Sangare. Right-footed ball into the box, off the chest. It's going to drop here, out to the left-hand side. Here's Dango, running in towards the box. Draguer with a touch, pulling back at the shirt, and just the tensions of the Tunisian right-back. Just saw Dango Ouattara's ball lift behind for a goal kick, and Tunisia can clear the danger. Good, powerful play, though. Just couldn't get his foot wrapped round the ball to steer it back into play as he reached the byline. Here come Tunisia down the left with Ifa. Tries to launch it long to Msatni. There's an intervention in midfield by Burkina Faso, but it will break to Jaziri. And a bit of sloppy play here. Poked forward by Msatni, looking for Jaziri. Oh, lovely football there from Edmund Tapsoba. Played it one way, went the other. Sliding tackle on the halfway line, tries to stop him, but they can't make it. It's Cyril now, back to Tapsoba, bursting all the way through. Still Tapsoba into the box, onto his left, now trying to find a bit of space. Tapsoba strikes from the edge of the area, blocked away by Tunisia. It'll drop here into midfield, though, for Blati Touré. Now it's Sangare running through. Wabi Khazri with a good tackle, denies him. 35 yards from goal. Khazri trying to drift past the challenges, 1 and 2. Now still bursting forward, Khazri up to the halfway line. Goes left to Msatni. Doesn't win the challenge, Kabore, but Tapsoba tracking back from his enterprising run from centre half has to haul down the Tunisia captain. Foul given. Not quite shooting range for Tunisia. Tapsoba just cut across the back of Msatni, just clipped his heels as he watched Issa Kabore tumble to the ground after his challenge. And this will be a free kick. Tapsoba retreats. He will do his defensive duties now. Long busting run. Herve Coffey calmly dishes out the instructions to his defenders. Looks like Wabi Khazri will be the man to strike. Can he hit them? Plenty of pedigree. Looks like there'll be 2 in the wall. Cyril Bayala is one of them. Dango Ouattara is the other. It's from quite some distance, getting on for 40 yards. All this around 37. It is Khazri to strike from distance, and it's central, and it's hard, and it's well hit, and it's well saved by Herve Coffey. Had to fly in the air. Was straight down his throat in the end. Bit of wobble on the ball as it was struck. Herve Coffey watched it all the way. Looked like it was just about to dip under the bar. Got his big black and pink gloves to the ball and pushed it over for a Tunisia corner. The closest the Tunisians have come to opening the scoring. The number 16 and captain for Burkina Faso looks to have got a bit of renewed vigour after his early injury scare. Khazri will take this set piece too from the right-hand side. This will swing away from the goalkeeper. It's in towards the 6-yard line, flicked away by Burkina Faso. It breaks here to Draguer on the edge of the box. Back out to Khazri. His touch is poor. Out of play for a throw-in to Burkina Faso. And in a matter of moments, all of that head of steam that Tunisia had managed to build, little attacking move, has just evaporated. A good early test for Coffey. His fitness looks to be improving now, and the concerned faces on the bench will start to ease. The throw-in has been taken. Burkina Faso gave it away quickly. Khazri has tumbled to the ground under the challenge of Yago, and the free kick has been given. This one is in a crossing position, so all of a sudden, after thinking that they were going to be able to get the ball clear, Burkina Faso back under pressure. Naby Khazri back with another set-piece opportunity. It's practically a corner, but with more angle. He's got the opportunity to whip this into the box from wide. Here's Khazri to the far post, nodded away, drops here to Sekahiri. Out to the left-hand side it goes. Crossing opportunity now for Tunisia, but they're being forced back by the Burkina Faso defence. Nodded out of defence there by Cyril Bayala. Nodded back into the box, and Sakni flicks it on. Jaziri tries to take it down. Cleared away by Tapsoba, only as far as Draguer, and then properly cleared by Burkina Faso up to the halfway line. Out of play for a throw-in to Tunisia. They've built their way back into the game. Draguer will throw this ball into play. It's being watched intently by Cyril Bayala doing his duties, and he's thrown the ball straight into the feet of Dango Ouattara. Tried to skip away from Khazri. Khazri stuck with him, but he's given the ball away for a throw-in to Burkina Faso. Good play from Blati Touré in the end, and well, just to underline Burkina Faso's dominance so far in the game, they've made 5 shots to Tunisia's solitary one. Sekahiri will shift this out to the left-hand side for Haddadi, midway through his own half. Tries to shrug off the attentions of Dango Ouattara. Can't do so, has to stop in his tracks. Lays this square to Elias Sekahiri. Sekahiri out to the right-hand side for Mohamed Draguer. Back inside to Sekahiri. He's in the centre circle, but he's lost the ball. Burkina Faso will build forward, and good intervention by Haddadi. Not good enough though. Burkina Faso still in possession. Djibril Ouattara was fed the ball, but just before that, Adama Guira, he went to ground under the challenge, and it will be a free kick. Bilal Ifa slinks away, trying to avoid the attentions of the referee Joshua Bondo. He was the man, I think, who made the initial foul. Djibril Ouattara is the ball clipped up, easily caught by Ben Said under pressure from Tapsoba, who didn't really want to challenge with the goalkeeper. It's rolled along the ground to Ifa, down the line to Haddadi. He plays that forward over the halfway line. Ball behind. Here's Jaziri. Latches onto it in the box, and well, didn't hear the shout from his captain Sakni. Jaziri was in an offside position. The flag has been shown. Number 11 wanders away. But if he'd left that on Sakni, looked like he had the beating of Ouattara. Tapsoba lays this back to the goalkeeper, Coffey. Now out to the right it goes to Issa Kabore. Carrying it forward now. Fires one long into the feet of Djibril Ouattara. Comes back at him after trying to play it round the corner. Djibril Ouattara doing well in terms of commitment, but he's lost the ball there. And Sakni running back towards his own goal down the far side touchline. Kabore's there. Almost got the ball back for Burkina Faso, but Tunisia have handed it back, trying to play it forward for Jaziri. Kabore over the halfway line. It's steered all the way back to Tapsoba. his orange boots. Into the midfield it goes for Toure. Laid back first time to Tapsoba. Out to the left-hand side between the players for Steve Yago, drifting into midfield. Over the top, he's tried to find Dango Ouattara. Almost got it under his spell. Just missed the first touch. Had he got that right, he had a clear strike at goal. Djibril Ouattara, meanwhile, is making himself a right nuisance for Bekir Ben Said, just standing in his way as the Tunisian goalkeeper tried to distribute, and eventually it went short to Dylan Bron. Goes across the back line to Ifa. Back to Bron. Midway through their own half, right of centre. Down the line it goes to Draguer. Draguer turns back and plays this back to Dylan Bron. Bron will go square across his defence back to Ifa. Ifa to the left to Osama Haddadi. Down the line it goes to Sakni. It's in the midfield now, but played back to Ifa. Ifa across to Dylan Bron, carrying the ball forward into the Burkina Faso half. Midway through it now, out to the right-hand side it goes. Here's Draguer, crossing opportunity, gets the ball in early. Cannons off the shin of Tapsoba. Didn't get that quite right with the clearance, and it's out to play for a corner kick to Tunisia. Cagey opening to the game. First 30 minutes, well, Burkina Faso looked full of energy, full of fight. They still do, to be fair. The quality has just dipped as Tunisia have built their way into the game a little. Wabi Kazri will have a corner kick to take here. Options in the box. Have Coffee trying to marshal his troops, and it comes from Kazri towards the 6-yard box. It's dropped into the area, and at the back post was Laidouni. It just hit him, he didn't really know much about it, and lifts over the bar. Dylan Bron was there jumping for the ball. Laidouni, the man it fell to initially, and tried to adjust his body, just couldn't get his feet in that position. Herve Coffey will clear this from the goal kick. Whether he plays this short or long remains to be seen. He's got options either side of him, and Tapsoba is actually standing over the ball, perhaps because of that injury to Coffey. They're having a chat with each other at the moment. Tapsoba standing over the ball on the corner of the 6-yard line to the left-hand side. He's waved forward by the referee. Goes inside to the goalkeeper, who plays it straight back to Tapsoba. He tries to clear it. And a sliding challenge from Jaziri. Cannons behind for a goal kick. Almost an embarrassment for Burkina Faso there. Tapsoba was looking very casual. He took the goal kick into the feet of Coffey. And back to Tapsoba. He tried to clear, had no idea Jaziri was coming. Sliding in front of him. Blocked the ball, and it just narrowly goes past the post. Tunisia will have a bit of confidence from this. Here's Ben Slimani in the midfield. Laid back to Draguer, but tries to return it to Ben Slimani. Just finds the dugout instead. And Yago will take the throw for Burkina Faso. Yago down the line to Dango. Doing well here, Cyril Bayala. Bayala with a cross towards Djibril. He's a loose touch there from Bilal Ifa. Trying to pounce on it. Tried to run past the number 2. Looks like he lost his footing, or maybe even collided with Bilal Ifa. Interesting to see this one again. In came the cross. Ifa got a touch to it. Just straight into the feet of Djibril Ouattara. He tried to run past Ifa to collect the ball. It does look like just collided with the Tunisian, but there was no appeals from Djibril Ouattara, and Dylan Bron has the ball at his feet midway through the Tunisia half now. Here's Ifa. Back to Dylan Bron. Bron steers this back to his goalkeeper, Ben Said, on the penalty spot. Diagonal ball to the left-hand side for Ifa. Now further wide it goes to Haddadi. Ball forward to Msakni. Msakni in the midfield. It's gone down but plays on. Forward ball poked off of his toes by Sikahiri to Ben Slimani. Back to Sikahiri. Sliding tackle from Djibril Ouattara has won the ball back for Burkina Faso. Wabi Kazri tries to get it back for Tunisia, but Yago's in possession of it now. Here's Tapsoba. Diagonal ball forward to the right-hand side, looking for the heads. It's appeals from Cyril Bayala, looking for handball. Driving forward went Laidouni. He's been fouled by Sangare on the halfway line. Tunisia take it quickly. Out to the left-hand side it goes. Trying to fight their way past the defending of Kabore, but can't do so. Laidouni will clip this forward to Jaziri. Off the chest, Ben Slimani on the edge of the box. He's lost out to Ouattara. Out to the left it goes to Dango. Pips one forward to Jibril. He's lost sight of the ball. Dylan Bron won it, but it's come off a Burkina Faso player. Ball forward there from Sangare, looking for the run of Jibril Ouattara, but they just got their wires crossed. The clearance comes from Dylan Bron. There's hands of play for another Burkina Faso throw down their left-hand side. It's like a lively figure, Jibril Ouattara. Where's the number 2, despite playing up front? Puts himself about a bit. Here is Soumaila Ouattara. Pokes that forward, right of centre. Diagonal ball out to the left-hand side. Once again looking for Cyril Bayala. Nodded away by Draguer. Out of play for a throw. Bayala's gone to collect, and he'll leave this to Steve Yago. Yago collects from the deck. Wabi Kazri's just in front of him. Yago has plenty of options. Goes back instead. Is Sangare. Drifting back towards Tapsoba. Diagonal ball to the far side. Looking for Kebaier. Takes it down well. Under pressure from Msakni and Haddadi. Still Kebaier running past one, then another to the byline. Robust challenge from Bilalifa. Just put his body between Kebaier and the ball. Sees that out for a goal kick to his side. Tunisia. Bekir Ben Said will take this. We're towards 38 minutes on the clock. It has really raced by. No moments of real quality. No clear-cut scoring chances yet. Couple of half chances for either side as Ben Said clears this long. Midway through the Burkina Faso half. One in the air by Soumaila Ouattara. Nodded forward and it's collected by Bilalifa on the left-hand side of his defence. Sikahiri comes to collect, splitting the centre halves. Right-footed ball out to the left-hand side for Msakni. Haddadi goes running on beyond him, but he's drifting into the centre, the Tunisia captain. There's Sikahiri, forward ball to Kazri. Now Ben Slimani takes over. He's trying to weave his way but can't get through. Laidouni lifts this to the left-hand side for Haddadi. Back to Laidouni, left of centre. Inside it goes to Ben Slimani. Sikahiri now back to Ben Slimani. Forward ball for Kazri on the edge of the area. Don't want him there. He tries to poke that through to Laidouni. Comes off his thigh. And Herve Kofi will go and collect. 39 minutes on the clock. Still 0-0. Even Stevens in terms of possession. Clearance from Herve Kofi out to the left. Steve Yago takes that down nicely on his chest on the left-hand side on the halfway line. Forward ball to Jibril. Gets the shot away, left-footed. Straight into the hands of Bekir Ben Said, who stops that, drops to his knee. And looks forward. Nice ball with the outside of the boot by Steve Yago. Evades Dylan Bron. Bilalifa was there with Jibril. Didn't have too much time, the number 2 for Burkina Faso, but did get the shot away. Another one on target. That'll be their second of the evening. Carrying it forward is Bron. Diagonal ball to the left-hand side. Underneath it is Laidouni. Takes it down on the chest, juggles it on his thigh. He's done well. He's beaten one challenge. Laidouni with a strike at goal at the near post. Collected easily by Herve Kofi. Throws this overarm to the left-hand side to Cyril Bayala. Bayala's now running. That's Wabi Kazri. Inside it goes. That's Blati Toure collects the ball. Laid back to Tapsoba. Tapsoba shaped to go long, but thought better of it as the block was shaped up by Ben Slimani. Instead he's gone across to the other side and now poked forward. Into midfield it goes for Blati Toure. Toure out to the left for Tapsoba. He's heading towards the halfway line now. Tapsoba to the centre circle for Guira. Laid back. He's trying to shrug off the attentions is Gustavo Sangare. Very, very deep for him. The centre circle in his side of the field. Sangare pokes this to the left. The challenge comes in from Sikahiri. Joshua Bondo waves him to his feet. I think advantage has been played. Here is Ouattara. Now to the right for Kebaier, the number 9, the right back. Tries to play one down the line, but that's going to go all the way out of play for a goal kick. As we inch towards half-time. The Burkina Faso coach, Camus Malo, has a quick look at his watch. Mondher Kebaier, he's looking straight onto the field of play. It's been a good feeling for him to be back in the dugout after sitting out in the last game. Bilalifa carries this forward. Out to the left-hand side it goes. Poked down the line for Haddadi. Haddadi's got Msakni for company, but he's going to ignore him. Go all the way back to Bilalifa. square across the back line to Dylan Bron. Long ball down the right-hand touchline, finds Draguer, flicks it inside to Khazri. He's trying to backheel it, doing something special there, but picked off by Burkina Faso easily. That's lovely football, dancing around the place by Gustavo Sangare. He's set Cyril Bayala on his way. He's got Djibril Ouattara to his left, but still Cyril Bayala. Strike from distance from very, very far, 45 yards or so. Sangare played that square, saw the man running onto it. Lovely footwork by Sangare, twisting, turning, strength and poise with the ball at his feet. Back forward to Cyril Bayala, and then the strike from distance, left-footed, came in from Blati Toure, and the ball sailed over the bar. Here is Ifa carrying it forward, out to the left for Haddadi. Is this back to Msakni, back to Haddadi, into midfield for Sakiri. All over the top, looking for Wabi Khazri. Out comes the goalkeeper, Herve Coffey, claims it in the air. Above the Saint-Etienne striker. Long ball forward, almost reached Djibril. It's nodded forward by Bron. Sakahiri steers this back to Ifa, under pressure from Dango Ouattara. Towards the halfway line for Msakni. Ball down the line from Haddadi. Jaziri's the target. Out comes the goalkeeper, Herve Coffey. Won the ball, I think. Referee's given a foul. He's going to give a yellow card to the goalkeeper too. Herve Coffey cannot believe what he's seeing here. The captain for Burkina Faso came steaming out to the right-hand side, tackled Saifuddin Jaziri. He's put his hands up protesting his innocence. We'll have a look at the replay here. Jaziri went chasing after the ball, saw the keeper coming. Out comes Coffey, gets a touch on the ball, wins it. Plays it away from Jaziri, who went tumbling to the ground as his feet were clipped after the initial tackle. Jaziri stands up waving a imaginary yellow card, and Herve Coffey, for my money, has been booked quite unfairly there. It looked to be a good challenge from the goalkeeper. Wabi Khazri has a free kick in a dangerous area. It's on the left-hand side of the box, around 8 yards from the byline. Can fire that goal if he wants to. Joshua Bondo just having a word with the three-man wall. Herve Coffey staring down Wabi Khazri. Khazri's had a look over to the far side at options. It's a congested area. A deep line from Burkina Faso. Joshua Bondo still isn't happy, having a word with Dylan Bron. Finally, happy to put the whistle to his lips and blow. It's up to Wabi Khazri now. Khazri strikes off the wall, out of play for a corner kick. A long build-up for very little there. Wabi Khazri will trot across to the far side where he'll have a corner to take. This will be whipped in with his right foot towards the goalkeeper. Kaboure's the man on the post. Herve Coffey has his arm in the air, trying to keep them free. So, plenty of options, both big men from the back. In Ifa and Bron, they're at the back post. Ifa makes a run towards the near. In comes the corner towards the back post. Underneath it is Dylan Bron, one in the air by Tapsoba. And out of play off a Burkina Faso head for a throw-in tight to the corner flag. 2 minutes of time will be added on the end of this first half. It's a floating corner towards the back post. Tapsoba won it in the end. And Burkina Faso have recovered the ball. Here's Yago with a lovely back heel to put it onto his left foot. Forward ball towards Djibril. Picked up. Going up the second ball. There is Blati Toure. Shifted out to the right-hand side. Bursting forwards Issa Kabore. Down the line it goes. Here's Gustavo Sangare. Left-footed strike from distance. Bounces in the 6-yard area. Straight into the arms of Ben Said, despite the attentions of Djibril Ouattara. It was Dango Ouattara with the left-footed ball in the end. And Djibril Ouattara just late getting there. It's Sakahiri. Sakahiri inching his way towards the halfway line. Less than a minute left in the first half. Ball down the right-hand touchline for Draguer. Draguer tries to shrug off the attentions of Cyril Bayala, who does well to win the ball and force the throw into Tunisia. It's the final 30 seconds of the half. Kebaier, ball above his head. Back to Bron. Across to Aoife in the centre circle. Aoife pokes it forward once, twice, now to the left for Haddadi. Down the line for Ben Slimane. Almost knocked off balance there by Gustavo Sangare, and he's now won the ball, the Burkina Faso number 20. Fired forward with his left boot for Gibril to collect on the halfway line. Burkina Faso are in here. It was the pass from Toure. Driving forwards, Dango. Here's Dango Ouattara. Dango Ouattara settles it. It's in the goal. It came off a deflection. But Ouattara, on the stroke of half-time, has got the first goal of this game. Lovely play on the halfway line between Gibril, Bilati Toure, and it was Dango Ouattara bursting down the right-hand side. Tunisia's defence was all over the place. Not so much a back line as a back squiggle. And Dango Ouattara made the most of it. He got into the box and didn't panic. They got bodies back. Aoife and Dylan Bron tried to get in the way. They were alongside the goalkeeper, Bekir Ben Said. It was Dylan Bron. Hasn't started this tournament very much. Dylan Bron. The tracking from Aoife all the way back. There was 3 Tunisia players between him and the goal in the end for Dango Ouattara. He skipped inside the challenge of Haddadi. Just turned onto his right foot. Cruyff turned onto the left. Strikes it. Did get a touch finally off of Bekir Ben Said, but the left-footed strike nestles in the centre of the goal. Burkina Faso are 1-0 up, and it's half-time here in Garoua. Late goal in the half. Burkina Faso, well, they fashioned plenty of opportunities. 8 shots, 4 on target, and one of those went in from Dango Ouattara. Tunisia have work to do in the second half. Burkina Faso, the comparative minnows in terms of international experience, well, they lead. It's Burkina Faso 1.
The live broadcast of this match will start momentarily. On FlashScore, you can also tune in to other commentaries. We regularly bring you the Premier League, the Champions League, or Europa League, while national team matches are also available. Do you want to look at stats while you wait? Have a look at our match details where you can find lineups, head-to-heads, and a lot of other interesting information. FlashScore, game-changing numbers.
Burkina Faso, well, they struck with the last kick of the first half. It was quite a wonderful goal from Dango Ouattara. Good composure in the midfield, and then played in for him to run. He sprinted from the halfway line, held off the challenge of Oussama Haddadi, and then when he got into the box, held his composure, kept his calm approach, chopped onto his left. There were 3 players between him and the goal, and he slotted it home with ease. And Burkina Faso lead 1-0. The second half is just moments away. Abi Kazri has been all over the place for Tunisia. Has tested the goalkeeper, Herve Kofi, early on with a free kick. Kofi has had to have some running repairs done to his left, I think it's right thigh actually. It's good to see he's back on the field of play, the Burkina Faso captain. He will take part in the second half. Has built strength. He's recovered from that early knock sustained in a collision with the captain of Sakni, and there will be changes here for Tunisia. Haddadi is going to come off. On in his place is Ali Malou, the number 12, and Slitty's also come on. I believe in the midfield for Sikahiri. Let's see what happens here. It's a long ball from the defence out to the right-hand side for Burkina Faso. Gibril's over it. That's a first touch from Malul under pressure. Goes back to the goalkeeper, Ben Said. Into midfield, that's nodded forward by Guira. Steered back to the defenders. Here's Tapsoba. Khazri presses him all the way back to the goalkeeper. Coffee will clear this long, flat, out to the right-hand side. A bit too flat. Malul has to chase that towards the byline. Looks to go to the goalkeeper. Instead turns to his left. Launches one long down the line. Sakni down on the chest. Tries to flick one over his shoulder for Jaziri. Wasn't ready for it. Picked off by Ouattara. Now here come Burkina Faso. Bursting from right to left is Sangare in the midfield. Trying to shrug off the attentions of Laidouni, who's still on the field. It looks like it's Ben Slimani that's come off for Slitty, and that's a foul. Laidouni goes into the book, and he will miss the semi-final. If Tunisia make it there, well, it looks like the referee will book him. He's barking at Laidouni, who's remonstrating with the referee. Absolutely frustrated with the booking there. And you've got to be careful not to talk himself into a second. Issa Laidouni will miss the next match. Just to bring you up to speed though, Slitty is on for Ben Slimani. There was a long ball forward as it's flicked off the head of Bilalifa. Appeals from the Burkina Faso team for a corner kick, and frustration from the Tunisians, who thought that should have been their goal kick. But it will be a corner kick for Burkina Faso. Line of 4 Tunisian defenders on the 6-yard line. The kid Ben Said has a furrowed brow here. One will be taken short to the feet of Cyril Bayala. Tries to lift it over the defenders that have come out to close him down. Cyril Bayala wins it back though. Here is Cyril. Tries to poke it into the box, but Tunisia have got this clear. Outside of the boot, down the left-hand side, looking for Wabi Khazri. Matching onto it, Issa Kabore. He steers this back to the goalkeeper, Kofi. Kofi, left-footed ball out. Looking for the head of Dango Ouattara. He's chested this back into the feet of Blati Touré in the centre circle, drifting from right to left now. Comes under the challenge of Slitty, lays this back to Guira. Now over to the left-hand side. Here's Tapsoba. Ball forward, almost between the lines there, but easily cut out by Draguet. Ball over the top now. Khazri's on the right-hand side. Crossing opportunity. Goes inside now to Slitty. Falling to the ground. That was dramatic. On the edge of the area. Looked like he was trying to buy the penalty there. Burkina Faso are breaking. Here's Gibril. Gibril tries to nick it past Ben Said. He's gone down. The whistle has blown just as Burkina Faso lined up the strike from distance, with Ben Said way out of his goal. And looks like it was offside in the end. Slitty went bursting into the box. Tapsoba was behind him. There was a little touch on the shoulder of the number 23 for Tunisia. And Gibril Ouattara did catch Ben Said. He just tried to pull out of the challenge. Tunisia are playing it down the left-hand side with Malul. It's won the throw-in off the shins of Cyril Bayala. Throws it back to Laidouni on the booking now. To the feet of Ifa. Now up to the right-hand side for Dylan Bron. Down the right-hand touchline it goes to Draguet. Inside to Slitty. Slitty tries to find a bit of space in the midfield. Left-footed ball out to the left-hand side, looking for Sakni. Heads it up, tries to get control over it. But he's been beaten to the ball by Issa Kabore. He gets this, pokes this down the line, out of play for a throw. Taken quickly by Malul into the feet of Laidouni. Between the lines, that's Slitty. Into the feet of Khazri now on the edge of the area. Steers this back to the goalkeeper for Burkina Faso, the defenders. It's gone long. Nodded back by Dylan Bron. Ifa will collect on the edge of his own area. And drive forward with the ball. Inching his way. It's hesitant to get too far forward. Draguet was the recipient of his pass. He took a touch and immediately looked back to Ben Said. Touch from him out to the edge of his box. Now into the feet of Dylan Bron. Midway through his own half. Left of centre. Now right of centre's Bilalifa. Carrying the ball forward to the halfway line. Over it he goes. He's got Draguet running with him down the right-hand touchline. Goes forward into the feet of Sekihiri. Give and go with Draguet. Ball into the box from the right back. Cleared away by Burkina Faso as far as Gibril. He's nodded that down to the goal scorer, Dango Ouattara. They've got plenty on the... Here's bursting through Cyril Bayala. Bayala up against the goalkeeper. Ben Said strikes. His hit well, but saved at the near post by Bekir Ben Said. Pushed away, and Tunisia will try and carry it clear with Sekihiri. Whistle blows, foul in the right back position. Cyril Bayala almost had a second for Burkina Faso there, but Tunisia carry this forward through Msakni. Going past 4 challenges there. Forward ball to Khazri, right of centre, out to the right-hand side. Here's Mohamed Draguer, picks it up. Here's Slitty on the edge of the area. Onto his left foot, pokes it into the feet of Jaziri. Jaziri's in an offside position, and he knew it. And he's telling Slitty that. Slitty can only look on with a wry smile. Frustration etched across Saifuddin Jaziri's face. Looks like he's about to cry, if I'm honest, but just a little annoyance there. Mondher Kebaier is barking out the instructions from the edge of his technical area as Tapsoba goes past Wabi Khazri into the midfield. There is the Gustavo Sangare forward ball. Burkina Faso building once again. Dango, that's a rare loose touch from him. Laidouni collects, give it to Sikahiri. Now to the right hand side, ball in behind looking for Khazri, but he's very wide out to the touchline on the right. Running at Tapsoba, Wabi Khazri tries to steer past him. Tapsoba's a big unit and steps in front of him. Collects the ball back out to the left hand side for Yago. His clearance is picked off by Slitty into the feet of Sikahiri. Edge of the box, right hand side. Now back out wide to Jaziri, not where he wants to be, but will keep the ball alive. Plays this back. Here is Slitty to the back post. Msakni was the target. Then on the volley from the edge of the area, Sikahiri doesn't get it right. Lifted over the bar. Out for a Burkina Faso goal kick. Ball was just dropping. Just ever so perfectly onto his right foot, and he just snatched at the chance. So how close were Burkina Faso to having a second here? It was excellent defending in the end from Laidouni. Saw Cyril Bayala at the far post and went sprinting across. Made himself big. Cut out the opportunities for Cyril Bayala to put the ball past the goalkeeper. Ball has gone long. Bayala wins the header. Flicks it on for Gibril to chase. He's backing Ifa into a corner, and all this number 2 for Tunisia can do is lift it out of play for a throw-in. It's been a very frustrated-looking Tunisian performance, but then same can be said about a number of their games. I have covered 3 of them in the tournament, and they never looked particularly fluent, even in their 4-0 demolition. Mauritania, that was in fits and starts. The throw-in is dropped into the box. There's Gustavo Sangare, but he's lost it. It's a dangerous area, but Msakni's taken it away for Tunisia. He's trying to poke it into the path of Jaziri, but Burkina Faso have swamped him. It's back now with Tapsoba in the central area midway through his own half. He's been inching his way towards the goalkeeper before finally playing it to Kofi. Down the right-hand touchline it goes. Here's Sangare trying to run away from Laidouni. Laidouni does well, uses his body, shields the ball out of play, and Msakni takes a throw into midfield. Slitty on the ball. Slitty drifting from left to right. Central area, right of centre, out to the right-hand side for Draguer, who's 12 yards forward from the halfway line. Now drifting from right to left into the feet of Laidouni at the base of that midfield. To the left-hand side it goes to Malul. Malul inside to Msakni, left-hand channel. Ball down the line, looking for Malul. Slide tackle comes in and misses from the left-back. The cut-back from Malul is poor. Picked off easily by Gustavo Sangare. Outside of the ball, boot ball to Gibril. His layoff is easily read by Ifa. Here's Msakni on the edge of the area to Khazri. Back to Msakni, but picked off on the edge of the box by Ouattara. And they'll carry this forward. All Burkina Faso. Sliding tackle on the halfway line by Laidouni. Recovers the ball for Tunisia. Here's Malul. Ball forward to Msakni in the inside left channel. Now drifting wide. Out wide to Slitty. Slitty onto his right foot, looking to the edge of the area. Slitty being forced further away from the box though. Ball forward to Jaziri. Tries to turn around. Still Jaziri. Good defending from Tapsoba. Burkina Faso appeal for the goal kick. Referee says corner kick. Jaziri, bit of interest there. Was backing into Tapsoba. Had him blocks off from the ball. He turns to his right-hand side with his back to goal. Tapsoba followed him. Marshalled him well. And the last touch in the end did look like it came off Jaziri. He got the benefit of the doubt, and Slitty will have a corner to take from the Tunisian left. Right-footed corner will swing in towards Herve Kofi. There is a man at the near post for Burkina Faso. In comes the corner. It's a short one though. Given to Malul. Back to Slitty on the corner of the box. Lifted to the far side. So dropped into the 6-yard box on the bounce. Poked away by Yago on the far side. Out of play for a throw midway through the Burkina Faso half down the right-hand side for Tunisia. First ball wasn't defended well. The second one, well, that was a bit better. Here is Draguer. Cross-field ball through the air to the left-hand side. Looking for Malul. Beautiful touch from the left-back. So shifted it onto his right boot into the 6-yard box, and it's just going to dribble harmlessly all the way through, where Herve Coffey will pounce on it in the central area. Bowls this overarm to the left-hand side, looking for Dango. They've given the ball away here, Burkina Faso, towards Msakni. Msakni wins the header. So laid off to Malul, but it's a good burst of speed from Kebaier. Gets the ball away, but Sikahiri's picked it up. Here's Msakni. Referee's blown the whistle though, and Sikahiri's gone straight over to him to wonder what that is. And Msakni's also showing his frustration too. Josh Bondo, the ref, is trying to get Burkina Faso to put the ball down further away from where they wanted to take the free kick. Not sure what this was given for. Looked like a... well, we'll see here. Kebaier burst away from Malul. I think it was the challenge from Malul on Kebaier. Ball down the line, that's straight out of play by Burkina Faso. Camus Malo doesn't look too frustrated though. Thrown in from Malul into the midfield for Khazri. He's fallen over the ball. He's back inside. In the process, he seems to have hurt a Burkina Faso player. And back to his feet is Cyril Bayala, but it's on the right-hand side for Tunisia. Ball in from Slitty towards the 6-yard area. It's Wabi Khazri, and he's missed it. It's got to be the miss of the tournament. The flag goes up when Jaziri touches it, but Khazri, he was on the corner of the 6-yard box, and the ball almost went out of play for a goal kick. Midway between the post and the corner flag. Very tight from Khazri on the far side. Tried to open his body up and slot that in with his right foot, but if that's not flagged offside, I think it was him in the end. That would have been one of the misses of the tournament, and his embarrassment, his blushes, they're spared by the assistant referee's flag on that far side. Still has to do better despite the offside decision. 57 minutes on the clock, still Burkina Faso 1, Tunisia 0. To remind you, of course, there is extra time and penalties in the offing. How Burkina Faso got here. They had to fight their way through. Game against a spirited Gabon side, of course missing Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Bertrand Traore's first half strike put them in front before Vieira scored an own goal, and then either side could edge ahead in the extra time, and eventually the Stallions secured a 7-6 victory in a really nervy encounter in Limbe last Sunday. Anyway, the treatment has been required for Burkina Faso once again. This time it's an outfield player making his way off the field. Not entirely sure who it is, but we'll bring you that as soon as we've got clarification. At the moment, Dango Ouattara's goal is the only thing that separates it. For some reason, they've decided to show us an offside when he was a good 8 yards behind play. Lovely lung-bursting run from Ouattara to put Burkina Faso ahead. And we're back underway on the field of play. It was Cyril Bayala that needed the treatment. He's put his hands up, trying to get the attention of the referee. There is Kebaier. He tumbled to the ground under no pressure. I think he was trying to lean into Msakni. Msakni went down in a heap, and the referee's given the free kick to Tunisia. Msakni looks like he's steaming. Looks absolutely livid. Unorthodox defending but from Issa Kebaier. It looked effective, but the referee said it wasn't fair. Here is Dylan Bron. Up to the right-hand side for Mohamed Draguer. Inside it goes to Laidouni, right of centre. Back outside to Draguer, being forced back towards his own half. Lays this back to Dylan Bron. Now Aoife in the centre circle. Over the halfway line it goes. There's the centre spot. Diagonal ball to the left-hand side, through the air, looking for Malul. Keeps it down, takes it on his chest, but hands it straight back to Cyril Bayala. He's driving down the right-hand touchline. Pokes the ball forward, looking for the run of Blati Toure. Back to the goalkeeper, Ben Said. He's cleared it under pressure. Drops to Kebaier. Jaziri got there though. Yago in the midfield has fouled Slitty. Taken quickly by Msakni. Back to Slitty. Tries to feed Msakni once again. Loose pass. Dango Ouattara will steer this back to Tapsoba, who launches it clear, looking for Djibril Ouattara. Broken off of him to Malul on the left-hand side. Laidouni in defensive midfield steers this back to Aoife. Now to the right to Mohamed Draguer. He's 8 yards, 10 yards off the touchline on the right-hand side. On the halfway line. Here is Aoife. base of the centre circle. Now to the right-hand side to Dylan Bron. Down the right-hand side it goes to Draguer on the touchline. Getting chalk on his boots, the number 20 for Tunisia. Inside it goes to Bron, into the Burkina Faso half. Forward ball into Slitty. He's popping up in positions between the lines. Out to Malul. Crossing position. Gets underneath it, lifted all the way to the back post, and Sakni will take it down. But he's outside the box. And being harassed by Dango Ouattara. Cross from the byline. Herve Kofi tries to keep it in play after the deflection from the defending of Dango Ouattara. But the referees have decided that's gone out of play, and it's a correct decision too. That will be a corner on the far side for Tunisia, and Sakni leaves it. Malul will be the man to take, sucking in huge gulps of air as he stands over the ball down the Tunisian right. This will be a left-footed corner, swinging in towards the goalkeeper. Bronze at the back post. Ethan's making his presence known in the centre of the box. In comes the corner to the edge. It's Wabi Kazri from distance. Strikes, deflected off of 1, 2, 3 players. Not entirely sure whether that's going to be a corner. It will in the end. Malul is appealing for a handball. He's having a word with the assistant referee on the far side. Tapsoba was really clattered into by Kazri on the edge of the box. A whole group of Burkina Faso players all threw themselves towards that ball, 5 or 6 of them. Kazri's follow through momentum just carried him into the back of Tapsoba. Kazri doesn't look particularly comfortable either. I think Malul's appeals for a handball in the box have been denied. And we'll see from here. So there will be another corner. Malul once again stands over it, waiting for the referee. The bearded Malul, glistening underneath the floodlights. The referee has halted proceedings for a moment here, and they will step out away from the ball. Here comes the corner in towards the near post, nodded away by Jibril, only to the far side of the box, but finally got smuggled clear from Tapsoba. It's a foot race between Jibril and Draguer. Jibril got there, and Tunisia are on the back foot, but that's good defending there from Malul coming back from the corner kick. Lifted out to the left hand side. Here is Sliti running at Kebaier. Sliti left the ball behind. Kebaier couldn't pick it up though. Still with Sliti onto his right foot, trying to drift in off the touchline. Has to go all the way back to Sikahiri, left of centre. Plays this back to Ifa. Ball forward. There is Sliti once again. Goes down under the challenge of Guira. Free kick given by the referee. Sliti stands over it. So does Dylan Bron. Guira retreats to the 18-yard box. Malul will take the free kick. Looks like he's been sent on for his left-footed delivery. Mondher Kebaier does not look a happy man. It's taken short. Back to Malul. 37, 8 yards from goal. Into the head of Sikahiri. He tried to flick it on for Jaziri, but it's going to drop nicely into the hands of the goalkeeper, Herve Kofi. He's played one early. Oh, Ben Said almost ran past it, lost the flight of the ball. It came off the turf. Jibril Ouattara almost latched onto it, but Ben Said recovered just in time. Got a foot to it and plays it out of play for a throw. Good spot from Herve Kofi. And just skipped away from Bekir Ben Said. Probably had time to collapse and grab that ball with his hands. Instead went with his feet, and Burkina Faso will have this throw in the threatening area. From practically level with the edge of the box. Kebaier took it, but well, they couldn't make the most of it. It was won by Sliti. Played it against Ista Kebaier. And the goal kick will be taken by Bekir Ben Said. He's at the ball to the left of his 6-yard box. Waves the centre halves forward. Had a thought about playing it to Dylan Bron, but instead will go long. Launches this past the halfway line. Over the head of Jaziri. Nodded forward in midfield by Guira. Here is Ifa. Gives the ball away to Burkina Faso. Straight into the feet of Guira. On the right hand side. Lovely footwork once again by Bayala. Bayala did lose it in the end. Tried to do a bit too much with the ball, and it's being carried away down the left hand side by Sliti. Tries to find Jaziri. Picked off by Ouattara, the centre half, with the number 4 on his back. Bursting down the left hand side is Yago. Yago still going. Down the line for Dango. Dango with the ball in towards Jibril. It's a sliding challenge from Ifa. Gets the ball cleared just as it was about to land on the right boot of Jibril Ouattara. Good defending, had to do it. Last ditch stuff from Bilal Ifa. The left-footed cross from Dango was perfectly executed in just the right area. Just taken away from Jibril. Here is Dango once again, and referee's whistle has blown. There's a foul on Mohamed Draguer after the throw-in came in. Dango, the man, penalised. 25 minutes or so of this half left. Tunisia haven't really caused Herve Coffee any problems in this second half. Only getting about a quarter of their attempts on target, the Tunisians. Dylan Bron, right of centre, carries it towards the halfway line. Over the top. Down under the challenge goes Djaziri. Referee reaches into his pocket. Taps over the man. Goes into the book. Clash of legs just outside the area. Spotted by the assistant on the far side. Edmund Tapsoba. Just been wandering away from the ball. Laidouni shoved him. Tapsoba didn't like it, and Laidouni immediately apologises for doing so. And the referee just sorting things out here. Just the yellow card. No clear goal scoring opportunity there. Djaziri once again, after he gets up to his knees after falling to the ground, waves that imaginary yellow card. It's been a feature of lots of the teams in this tournament. Not something you want to see. But anyway, Wabi Kazri will have another opportunity to test Herve Coffee. He did well with the first free kick. This one's a little bit closer from Wabi Kazri. 10 yards tighter, as he has the time to get this up and down. Struck by Malul in the near post, well saved by the goalkeeper, down low to his left. Malul got that up and down. It was going to nestle in the side netting inside Herve Coffee's goal, but he got across well. Pushed it round the post for a corner, which will be taken by Malul, who just struck that free kick. Malul lines up in towards the near post, cleared away by Jibril Ouattara, up towards the halfway line. Nobody there for Burkina Faso. Wabi Kazri will track back and chase. Dango Ouattara. He takes someone down on the halfway line. Referee has blown the whistle. There will be a free kick. He's having a word. No booking. Wabi Kazri has it. It's 6 yards forward from the halfway line. Across the field it goes to Sliti. Lovely touch from him to take it under his spell. Shifted onto his right, but he's going to lose out here to Cyril Bayala. Flies it down the line looking for Dango. Getting across well. That's Malou. Steers that back to Ben Said on the edge of his box. Here's Dylan Bron. Carrying that forward. Tracking back into defence is Bilal Ifa. Now Sikahiri just to his left. Out to the left-hand side for Malou. Prods it over the halfway line. Goes inside. Down on the chest from Sliti. Now to the right. Bursting forward from defence is Dylan Bron. Finds Mohamed Draguer down the right-hand side. Lays this back to Dylan Bron midway through the half. Into a central area for Sikahiri. Third of the way into Burkina Faso territory. So release this to the right for Dylan Bron once again. Ball down the line for Draguer. Running at Jibril Ouattara. Sticking to his task well though, the number 2 for Burkina Faso. Throw into Tunisia, just in front of the assistant referee. Level with their penalty spot. That's thrown backwards. Into the feet of Bron. Across it goes to Ifa. Central area, just inside the Burkina Faso half. Now on Sakni. Sakni tries to poke it forward. It's blocked by Burkina Faso. This will break now to Ifa in the centre circle. Out to the left for Sliti, left of centre. Inside to Sakni. Round the corner to Laidouni. Down the right-hand touchline for Draguer. Ball into the box. Kazri gets a touch on it. Will Kazri keep it in play? Flicks it back over his head from the byline. Still Kazri tries to turn away from Yago and Tapsoba. Wins the decision as well. Edmund Tapsoba looks mystified with that. The Cruyff turn from Wabi Kazri on the byline. It looked like he just carried it out of play in the end. In comes the corner from Wabi Kazri towards the near post. Nodded down but not too far clear. But here is Tapsoba carrying it clear for Burkina Faso. Tapsoba still He's given the ball away in a dangerous area. Here's Laidouni onto his right foot, trying to lift it into Desiri. Kind deflection, almost finds Desiri. Nodded out of the box by Yago. Now Kebaier will get this clear. He's looking for Jibril Ouattara. He's got there. Here is Ouattara. Jibril doing well. Finally lost the ball to Dylan Bron. He's fallen to the ground. Dylan Bron doesn't like that. Makes that known. Looks like there will be a change for Burkina Faso. Jibril Ouattara, the man currently on the ground, looks to be coming off, and on in his place, the number 11 for Burkina Faso. That's Mohamed Konate. Different prospects, more height with a striker than Jibril has provided. He's very much a channels type of player. Jibril Ouattara. Mohamed Konate, much more of the target man. Maloul is having a word. The referee did wave on the stretcher for Jibril. He's going to depart the field of play under his own volition, though. As we look back at that free kick from Maloul, it wasn't as well struck as first thought. It was quite central for Herve Coffey to save. Still currently preserving his clean sheet. With less than 20 minutes to play. Thrown in by Kebaier, looking for the new man, Konate. Didn't win the header and launched clear by Maloul. Downfield for Jaziri. He backed into Soumaila Ouattara, who's telling him exactly that. As Saifuddin Jaziri appeals for a free kick. It's gone Burkina Faso's way instead. Konate's pointing to where he wants the ball. It will be Soumaila Ouattara to take. It's a central ball clipped up towards Konate. Skips off his head. Straight through to Ben Said, who collects on the left-hand side of his 6-yard box. Referee Joshua Bondo runs away and Konate's in an offside position. It's a free kick taken by Ben Said. To the right it goes to Dylan Bron. Bron to Draguer, 6 yards to his right. Lifted from right to left to Ifa, left of centre, midway through his own half. Out to the left for Maloul. He's trying to direct Ifa to come and collect the ball again. He's played it to the centre half. Ifa between the lines looking for Msakni. Lifts it out to the left-hand side for Maloul. Maloul in between the lines. Here's Msakni. Hammered out of play by Soumaila Ouattara after a loose touch from the Tunisian captain. Bowen's taken quickly. Maloul's got the ball under control. Tried to play it round the corner for Msakni. He wasn't on his toes. And that's out of play for a goal kick. With less than 17 minutes left to play in this quarter-final, can Burkina Faso get through to another semi-final of the Africa Cup of Nations? It's taken short to Tapsoba. Ball forward into midfield for Toure. Steered back to the goalkeeper Coffey on the edge of his 6-yard box. Out to the right now for Soumaila Ouattara. Sliding challenge comes in from Jaziri. He's back to the goalkeeper from Ouattara. First time clearance from Coffey. Looks long. It's going to flick over the head of Draguer into the feet of Konate. He's got options to the far side. Here is Dango. Ball skips up off of one touch and then just allows Ifa to get a boot on the ball. And Tunisia once again in possession with Maloul. Inside to Sekihiri. Back to Ifa. Forward ball to Sekihiri. Now to the right-hand side once again for Dylan Bron. Forward ball into midfield. Down under the challenge goes Sliti. Referee blows the whistle. That's a foul from Yago on the halfway line. Right of centre. Sliti will line up the free kick and there will be a change here for Tunisia. It's Jebali will come on for Saifuddin Jaziri. Jebali in the number 27 shirt. Issam Jebali, shaved head, trots on to take his place up front. Been thrown on by Draguer. He's lost the ball in midfield. Has Msakni. Driving away is Konate. Laid back into the feet of Sangare. Now further wide it goes. Ball in behind for Konate to chase. Dylan Bron's got a bit of pace about him though. Gets the ball or pokes it out to the left. It's the ball will come back in towards the back post as Dango, but it's a good clearing header by Maloul. Driving from the left back position. That was Yago unleashed from distance. He's got the ball back though after it collided with a Tunisian midriff. Inside it goes, down under the challenge. So referee waves play on, lifted to the back post. Dango can only get a touch on the ball and lifts it towards goal, and I think Burkina Faso wanted the foul rather than the advantage. Here's Malul. Flips it into midfield for Msakni. Between the lines, he's going to run away from Blati Toure. Still Msakni. Tries to find Khazri on the edge of the area. Khazri into the box now. Khazri onto his right foot. Still Khazri. Khazri almost there. Sliding challenge. And a good one too from Soumaila Ouattara. Just when Khazri was about to unleash to get his strike away at goal, he went sliding in. He's taken a bit of the man as well. Khazri's rolling around on the ground, clutching at his ankle. Referee waves the stretchers on. The defending from Kabore left a lot to be desired. Same can't be said about Soumaila Ouattara. Robust, almost agricultural challenge. Got to the ball. And then, well, he was off the ground when he collided with Wabi Khazri's inside of his knee. And one of those where the momentum just carried him through into the player. Khazri is just getting to his feet now, limping away from the challenge from the edge of the 6-yard box. And Burkina Faso have a bit more defending to do here. Mondher Kebaier wants to speak to the referees here, but Malul has a throw in to take. Sakni's close to him. Joshua Bondo, I think he's just delaying proceedings as VAR wants to have a look at this. I don't think anything will be given. Well, in my opinion, it definitely shouldn't. Referee has blown the whistle, makes the square with his arms. He will go and have a look on the screen. This never bodes well for oppositions who have a VAR check off of this. It looked to me like Wabi Khazri was drifting in from the left-hand side of the box. He just left a little bit of space for Ouattara to slide in and win the ball. Ouattara won the ball. His momentum carried him off his own feet. Wabi Khazri was in the way. And I think the referee's probably going to give this. I don't think he should. For my money, that's a, as they say in the pressure here, looks like he might lose out to Cyril for a VAR check. He's going to run across to the screen here. And this time I've got to say, Dango Ouattara may be in a bit of trouble here. He's jumped, and then it's the move at the top of the jump where he's thrown the elbow back in towards the face of Ali Malul. He doesn't know where he is, but referee's only had a quick look. He's made his decision quickly. He's reached into his pocket to... He's shown the sign of the screen. He walks up to Dango Ouattara, cancels the yellow card, which has dropped to the ground. Wabi Khazri's got it in his hand, and Dango Ouattara, the goal scorer, has been sent off for violent conduct. He's adjudged to have intentionally elbowed Ali Malul in the face, and every time you look at the replay, it's very difficult to argue that. Ouattara, who's been so lively this evening, if Burkina Faso can hold on with 10 men, he will definitely not be a part of this next game. All forward from Dylan Bron to the right-hand side. Draguer with a cutback into the box. It's poked away by Yago, but it's going to come back to Laidouni. And the referee has stepped in. He's blown the whistle for a free kick to Burkina Faso. I'm not entirely sure why. But Burkina Faso have 7.5 minutes. 7 minutes to survive with just 10 men. Herve Coffey will take the free kick from a yard outside his area. He's throwing his arms in the air, trying to get the attention of his outfield players. Here comes Coffey with the strike long. It's flat through the air, looking for Konate. Wins it on his chest, but he's gone down in a heap under the challenge of Dylan Bron. Sikahiri will steer this to the left for Malul. Back inside it goes. That was at Laidouni. Lays that off to Sikahiri. Back to Ifa. Across the back line it goes. Back to the wall job now for Burkina Faso as Dylan Bron carries it over the halfway line. Here's Msakni. Darting out to the right-hand side. Draguer in a crossing position. Cut back to the 6-yard box. Away by Tapsoba. Out for a throw down the right-hand side. Kebaier runs across to collect this ball from the sidelines. They're throwing on another player here. Tunisia. Elias Sekiri, the man to go off on in his place. Hamza Rafia, the number 19. Throwing will come from Kebaier. Rafia has gone all the way across to show for it. Thrown into Jabali. Cleared though by Sangare. Long downfield and out of play on the halfway line. Here's Dylan Bron, takes the throw in quickly. Laidouni collects on the halfway line. Running away from him to his left is Ifa. He's got the ball at his feet now. Ifa out to Malol on the left. Malol back down to Ifa. Inside is Msakni. Collects the ball from Bilal Ifa. Pokes it wider. Here's Dylan Bron. Forward ball to Rafia. First touch for him. Round the corner to Kebaier. Kebaier with a cutback. Deflected away by Burkina Faso, by Yago. For a corner to Tunisia. Kamu Malo in his white cap and lime green top on the touchline is trying to G up his players for this final big effort. Corner from Malol, played short to the feet of Rafia. Running at Toure, strikes from distance and wide and tight. It was Rafia in the end, and it's not threatening. It's gone behind for a goal kick, and Herve Coffey will take as much time as he can here to try just eke as much time away from this as possible. And behind the goal, one of the Burkina Faso substitutes that's been warming up behind the goal has just been shown a yellow card, which is a remarkable turn of events. I didn't quite see what happened there. The ball floated behind the goal. Referee's dropped his yellow card again. Herve Coffey's given it to him. He's trying to ask why he's been booked there. I'm not entirely sure who it was. He was in a bib, warming up behind the goal. I think he's trying to delay the game a bit more. Josh Bondo, the Botswanan referee, was having none of it. We'll try and clarify that for you shortly. Goal kick taken long by Herve Coffey. Looking for Konate. It's one in the air though by Cyril Bayala. It's back with Bayala here. Lifted over the top for Konate. He's miles offside, I'm sure of it. He's latched onto the ball and finally the flag goes up. Played quickly. Here's Malol. Malol under pressure from Konate. Almost got there. Back inside to Ifa on the corner of the box. Back to the right-hand side now. Dylan Bron carrying it forward over the halfway line. We're into the last 5 minutes of this game. Inside to Msakni in the central area. Msakni trying to drift past the challenges. Fine deflection from him. Msakni down round the corner for Malol down the left-hand side. Flag goes up. He was in an offside position, the left-back. Tunisia's bench is all on its feet. We're ticking down to the 87-minute mark. That's a very definitive flag for such a tight offside call. And, consummation that Hassan Bande, behind the goal, was booked. Long ball forward from the goalkeeper. Konate wins in the air, tries to flick it inside for Cyril Bayala. So nodded out of play by Ifa. Throw-in will be taken by Issa Kabore. It's up from right back into the Tunisia half. Time is ebbing away from Tunisia here. Thrown into Konate, can't win the ball, but it has been picked up in midfield by Sangare. Laid off to Blati Toure. Through ball looking for Bayala. Sangare's been left in a heap on the edge of the area as Tunisia build. They've got the ball away now. Here is Sliti. Sliti being marshalled well by Toure. Toure still at Sliti. Sliti's finally got away from him. And Burkina Faso have picked the ball up on the halfway line. Referee says no foul. Still Toure. Goes down under the challenge, and this time referee will blow his whistle. Blati Toure, the man, just hauled to the ground. Frustrations boiling over from Tunisia now. They're moments away from an exit of the Africa Cup of Nations. Referee is trying to get them to play the free kick quickly. He has done it. So all the way back to Herve Coffey, now out to the left-hand side, off the chest, down the line for Konate to chase. Bron will get there first, but Konate's a unit and puts his body in the way. There is a ball down the line by Tunisia. Rafi is trying to hold it off of Toure. And the corner came. Bayala tried to play it on to Rafia for a throw into Burkina Faso, but it's given to Tunisia. Out to the left-hand side. Maloul's in tons of space, driving forward. Cover does come across eventually. Maloul's route to goal blocked off. Inside to Msakni, tries to line up the shot. Msakni 35 yards from goal. Behind him is Laidouni. He'll go further to the right. There's Dylan Bron. Into the feet of Msakni. Msakni in the box now. Msakni towards the byline. Yago went down in with a challenge, didn't go over it, did Msakni. It's cleared by Yago. Out of play for a throw into Tunisia down the right-hand side. Hamou Malo is on the verge of a very famous win. Thrown back to Dylan Bron, inside to Sleety. Sleety running in a central area, right to left, laid back to Ifa. Maloul tells him to hold it before he gets back on side. Here he is now. Inside to Sleety. Laid back to Laidouni. Msakni 28 yards from goal. Msakni running away from Tapsoba. Msakni onto his left. Still the Tunisian captain. Back to Laidouni. 9 seconds till the 90. Here's Dylan Bron. Forward ball. Launched clear by Yago. It's out of play just shy of the halfway line. We've reached the 90-minute mark. There will be 4 more added on. Can Burkina Faso hold on? Can Tunisia find an equaliser and send this to extra time? Not like that. Yago will get it clear. Here's Blati Toure trying to run away. Here's Blati Toure still. Almost got it past Laidouni. The referee will pull it back for a tug back on Blati Toure on the halfway line, left of centre. Demonstrating exactly what he saw happen. It was a fair shout too. Advantage had been played. Tapsoba will be the man to take it. Standing in front of the ball is Jabali. It's out to the left-hand side from the centre half. One in the air by Draguer. With this dribble out of play for a Burkina Faso throw. Yes, says the referee. Points towards the Tunisian goal. Sleety couldn't keep it in play. It's all getting very tense here. You can see the concern and worry on the faces of the Tunisian players. And their staff thrown into play, taken down by Toure. Round the corner it goes. Lovely run down the left-hand side. That's out of play off of Mohamed Draguer for a corner kick. And, well, Cyril Bayala is pumping up the crowd, which is in full voice here. He's just in front of the Burkina Faso fans too. I'm sure they'll risk too much here, Burkina Faso, from this corner. Just one man in the box, that's Konate. Toure's been given the ball on the corner flag. And, well, down off of the ball goes Cyril Bayala. Referee's run across. He's given a free kick to Tunisia. I think as they try to keep it in the corner. Laidouni was the man, I think, involved there. Just have a look what happened. Bayala, well, nothing much at all. Ifa's carrying it clear for Tunisia. They've got 2 minutes to fashion an equaliser. Long ball forward for Jabali. Out comes the goalkeeper, Herve Coffey. Pounces at the feet of Msakni. Wins the ball. More time will ebb away. The Burkina Faso fans in full voice in the stands. Green and red in motion. Thousands of them have acted out tonight. Herve Coffey launches it clear. 90 seconds left in the game. Konate jumping with Dylan Bron. Bron will nod this back to Bekir Ben Said. This ball has to get forward and quickly. Maloul has come to collect from Ben Said. He'll play it to his left-hand side, the goalkeeper. Maloul collects. He's got Konate to beat. Plays it into midfield. Collected by Laidouni. Out to the right-hand side for Draguer. Forward ball to Sleety. He's fighting for it. Into the box it comes from Draguer, but it's straight into the arms of the goalkeeper. 60 seconds left. 60 seconds left. Herve Coffey in possession of the ball. Smiles beaming down from the Burkina Faso fans in the stands. They've won their previous 2 meetings against Tunisia in quarter-finals, and it's about to be a third. Cleared long by Herve Coffey out to the left-hand side. It'll be a throw taken by Draguer. It'll be last throw of the dice now for